Singapore native Tan Chuando is a viral internet sensation.
But how much of this is genetic versus lifestyle at the end of the day?
Yeah, great question.
I am Dorian Gray in real life.
What if I told you that this man just had his 58th birthday? Chuando Tan, a 58-year-old man who's been making waves online because of his youthful appearance. At an age where most people are dealing with gray hair and declining health, Chuando looks like he's reversing the clock. But what is his secret? Is it his diet, his genetics, or is there more behind the curtain?
I don't fault people for being confused.
When we think about aging, we often associate it with decline, decay, and loss. We're told that as we get older, our bodies will start to slow down, our skin will start to wrinkle, and our energy levels will plummet. It's a daunting prospect, and many of us try to fight it with the right diet, with exercise, creams, serums, supplementation, and even surgeries. But is it really inevitable? Do we have to accept that our bodies at one time will deteriorate? Or is there another way? For many of us, the prospect of aging is a source of anxiety and fear. We worry about losing our independence, our health, and our vitality. We see our parents and grandparents dealing with age-related issues and wonder if we suffer from the same fate. It's a universal concern that transcends cultures and borders. But what if I told you that there are people out there who are defying these expectations? People who are aging in reverse, who are getting stronger, healthier, and more vibrant with each passing year. Chuando, a fashion photographer and model from Singapore, is one of them. And today, we're going on a search for his secrets. So let's search in the first and biggest field of health and longevity, which is his diet.
I would rather look like a mean, lean chicken breast.
To quote him, 70% depends on what you eat and what you put in your body. He reports that he's staying on a low carb but high protein diet. For example, for breakfast, he prefers to eat eggs and avocados. For his main meals, he eats fish soup, chicken breast, so plenty of lean protein sources with a focus on whole foods without any unnecessary food additives. He strictly avoids processed sugars and so-called AGEs, so advanced glycation end products, which are causing oxidative stress and increasing inflammation and therefore damaging the cells in our body and accelerate aging processes. He avoids high inflammatory foods such as grains or wheat, because chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers for age-related issues. So to put that all together, he's following a whole foods and high protein diet. And of course, he doesn't smoke or drink alcohol. Well, thanks for that insight. There's no big secret in his diet, what of course makes sense, but honestly make me a little bit skeptical. If that's responsible for 70%, what are the remaining 30%? Well, one point of course is consistent exercise. His protocol includes 5 sessions per week, a mixture of strength training as well as low-level cardiovascular training and swimming. And we know that especially zone 2 cardio, so cardio training with a low to medium intensity, plays a huge role in longevity. But let's be honest, if regular exercise was his secret, we would see way more people with such an appearance in the gyms. So let's agree that there's more behind his pathway to longevity. But maybe it's his genetics. Let's take a look on that. Scientists nowadays agree that there's a gene that determines aging in humans. Long time research, it is probably a gene which lays on the X chromosome. They compared the lifespan of identical twins and found out that genes can influence between 10 and 15% in how fast we are aging. Okay, so we can agree that this guy has a huge advantage in terms of slowing down aging, because we also know from some celebrities that there exist genes that determine if a person, for example, needs less sleep, like the ADRB1 gene, which enables about 1% of the population to just need 4 to 6 hours of sleep without any negative side effects. It's also reported that, for example, Donald Trump possesses that gene and therefore just need about 4 to 6 hours of sleep per night. And if we keep in mind that over the entire world there are always statistical outliers, we can agree that genetics play a huge role in that case. But from what we know from science so far, that can't be the whole deal. So there's still one point that we are missing. To illustrate that point, let's make a quick comparison. This right here is Bryan Johnson, A mega millionaire who's spending $2 million per year on reversing his age and optimize every biomarker of his health. Let's just compare the visual appearance with Chuando, who obviously does not spend that much money, because he reports that it's just his healthy, stress-free and positive-minded lifestyle. That's a clear point for our model. So just eat eggs, exercise regularly and keep a positive mindset. So we are all living in a happy and beautiful world, right? I would love to tell you that that's true. But use Bryan as an example. He spent the majority of his life ignoring and neglecting his health in order to build his businesses. At that time, he was highly stressed, obviously in a bad shape, and therefore in a bad mental condition, especially as an entrepreneur. Balancing long work hours, high levels of stress, and big business ambitions with taking care of his body and health can be quite challenging. And Bryan built, I guess, 5 companies, and his net worth is estimated around $400 million. So of course, if you're using a pencil, you get signs of wear on it. Chuando, on the other side, is a photographer. Of course, even as a photographer, you can have high levels of stress, but it's really hard to compare with an entrepreneur who built several companies. So that's a clear point for Bryan. Another point to keep in mind is that Bryan started his journey in 2021 at an age of 44, so relatively late to gain back the fountain of youth. And it's a whole nother story if you grow up in this environment and prioritize your health from a young age. What Bryan just gained back within a few years is for me way more impressive. And the last aspect what I want to cover today is that visual appearance does not equal health and longevity. We oftentimes see bodybuilders who keep low body fat percentages and appear fit and healthy, but still die in a young age because of the use of anabolic steroids. That means you can look like the fountain of youth, have an incredible physique, but still are in a horrible state of your health. Because low body fat doesn't determine health and longevity. And of course, we don't know what kind of supplements he's taking to keep that body shape. If you want to hear my personal opinion, I assume that he's on some form of testosterone replacement to keep that body shape. But of course, I don't know, that's just my guess. What's your opinion on him? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to learn more in optimizing your health and performance, then subscribe to that channel. That's it for today, guys. See you soon.